8countnews.com. Peter Zimber here with you at the Wildcard Gym in Los Angeles with world-renowned trainer, currently working with pound-for-pound kingpin Manny Pacquiao in preparation for his March 13th welterweight title defense against Joshua Clottey. It's the one and only Freddie Roach. Freddie, how have things been going in Pacquiao camp as we approach the Clottey fight?
He's doing great. Our peak day of sparring is today. We're going to go 12 rounds, and then starting next week we start tapering off and saving energy for the fight, of course, and he's right where I want him to be.
Is this a pressure situation for you guys? Clottey is coming off a loss to Miguel Cotto, a decision loss to a fighter who Pacquiao just destroyed. Is this a pressure situation for you guys? Because if you win, you're beating a guy who lost to a guy you've already beaten. If you lose to a guy that you're expected to beat.
Well, a lot of people thought that Clottey won that fight, though, so that helps a little bit. And the thing is, you know, everyone's an individual, and it's just because he beat him doesn't mean you'll beat him, because styles make fights. And the thing is, you know, we don't take anyone lightly out there, and Joshua Clottey's a good puncher, tough guy, good chin, never been knocked out. But Pacquiao is, he takes nobody lightly, and we're 100% ready for anybody in the world.
And while Pacquiao is heavily favored against Clottey, he's no soft touch. He gave a beating to Diego Corrales a few years ago in a fight where I think they were moving Diego Corrales up to welterweight, thinking Clottey might have been an easier opponent than he was. You certainly see a lot of validation in Clottey as an opponent.
Well, he's a very tough guy and so forth, but I studied a lot of tapes of him, and we know his flaws, we know his mistakes, we know a lot about Clottey that we're going to take advantage of in the fight, and I'm very confident with my fighter. I think Manny will be the first person to knock Clottey out. And, you know, I like Joshua Clottey. He's a good, solid guy, but he's very predictable.
Now, he's a guy who people say has a granite chin. He's been down just once in his career. It was a flash knockdown in the first round against Cotto. How quickly do you think Pacquiao will take care of him? You're predicting a knockout.
Well, I'm seeing 9, 10, 11, 12. You know, we're going to break him down first. He's got that good defense for his chin, but his body, he doesn't protect his body, and that's where we're going to destroy him downstairs.
He also has a tendency to fade in the later rounds. That's something you've noticed while studying tape?
Well, I'm not sure he's fading or just he thinks he's ahead in the fight and was kind of coasting a little bit. But I don't believe in coasting. It's not going to happen with my guy. And if he does fade, we will finish him.
Each and every Pacquiao camp, it seems, we have the benefit of HBO's 24/7 nowadays. You can hear about almost everything that's happening in camp. And in past camps, you always hear about something that Pacquiao seems to thrive in chaos. Before the Cotto fight, you guys spent some of the camp in the Philippines, some here in Los Angeles. It seems like it's been pretty smooth sailing leading up to the Clottey fight, however. Is that true?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good camp. Yeah, the drama is a lot less, and you know, it's a lot easier training here at the Wildcard with Manny, but I'm having a little bit of problem with the people in the parking lot because there's about 300 people going to be here today thinking they're going to get an autograph, and you know, unfortunately, I'm not going to let Manny sign this close to a fight, so it's not going to happen. But pretty smooth camp though so far. You know, Alex Ariza, Michael Collins haven't got into it yet, so pretty good. Probably maybe the least chaotic camp we've ever had.
You know, there was an incident before the last fight, as you mentioned, in camp between Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach Alex Ariza and his advisor Michael Collins. I did notice a sign over there saying that the Michael Collins fan club or appreciation club meeting has been canceled for the night, and Alex Ariza is the president. Who put that up?
Jerry Penalosa. He's a character, you know. He's just stirring the pot.
Well, this fight with Clottey came about when negotiations fell through for a Pacquiao-Mayweather mega fight. I wanted to ask you, a few years ago, Floyd Mayweather, while he was preparing to fight Ricky Hatton, he was on the TV show Dancing with the Stars, which is shot here in Hollywood. As a result of that, he spent some time training here. A lot has been said between the Pacquiao camp and the Mayweather camp. What was your relationship with Floyd then and now?
Well, Floyd Jr. I've always liked him. I think he's a good fighter. He's always respected me. You know, there's going to be some trash talking involved when he's going to fight my guy and so forth. But I like Floyd. I let him work out here every night. You know, he stayed for like from 11 p.m. till like 1 in the morning, and you know, I let him have run to the gym. It was no problem. I respect him as a fighter, but you know, I don't respect that he's scared of Pacquiao, and I think that if you want to be called the world champion, you fight everybody out there. You don't duck people.
What was your relationship with Roger Mayweather, Floyd's trainer, and his uncle when he was here?
Roger is an asshole, and he wasn't here. I wouldn't let that be. I wouldn't let him in my gym.
And that was when Floyd was not on speaking terms with his father, Floyd Sr. I got to imagine you wouldn't allow him in the gym either.
No, I would. He's harmless. His poems are a little bit, you know, foolish sometimes, but he's not a bad guy. He's not that good at poems, but he thinks he is. So it's pretty funny actually. But I like Floyd. The Floyds are okay. Roger, he's a piece of shit.
Well, pending Floyd gets by Shane Mosley in May and Pacquiao gets by Clottey in March, that's a fight that the entire world still wants to see, despite it not happening in the immediate future. When that fight hopefully does eventually happen, how do you see it playing out?
Well, it's a very tough fight, for, you know, style-wise, but I think we can break him down and get him out of there. But the thing is, you know, we're not going to. Fighters don't make the rules. We're going to go by commission rules and commission rules only. If the commission says makes a rule, we'll do it. But there's no way in the world that Floyd's going to run the show. And I'm not going to let that happen. So if he's not going to hire his own company to do random drug testing. It's like me saying, okay, well, let's fight 5-minute rounds. You know, it's like we're going to change the rules of boxing. You know, that fight will happen if he wants to fight us on even terms.
And what you're alluding to is Floyd demanded Olympic-style drug testing in order for the Pacquiao fight to go through, which would result in both fighters having to draw blood, potentially up until just days before the bout. Right now, that is not in place by any athletic commission in the United States that needs to happen. But let's just say that commissions start moving towards Olympic-style drug testing. Is that something you would favor?
Yeah, I would favor it. I think it's good for the sport. But I don't think there's a lot of steroids in boxing, to be honest with you. You know, like baseball and football are much more contaminated, I feel. But I'm sure there's guys out there. But I think the testing system they have now is pretty accurate. You know, the thing is they do a urine test before the fight and after the fight. You know, blood and urine show the same thing. I mean, you know, clear and HGH can't be detected by any test right now, but I just heard that recently there might be a new test out there that can detect HGH. So it's you know, who's ahead of who in the world of steroids. So I mean, I get all this information from the head guy at the OIC, from the Football League, from the Cincinnati Bengals, and he gave me a very good lesson on what steroids. In blood, the only reason Olympic-style testing is more because they save the blood from year to year. This is a one-time deal. They're not going to save the blood from year to year. It's not relevant in our sport.
You know, everyone in the world of boxing, because of this whole Mayweather-Pacquiao fallout, has become amateur chemists, it seems. Well, Freddie, I want to thank you so much for joining me. You already mentioned you think Pacquiao will become the first to stop Clottey. Before I let you go, how do you think Mayweather fares against Mosley?
I like Mayweather to win a decision. I think, I hope Shane wins. Shane's my friend. I'm sorry, Shane. I'm picking the other guy.
Well, thank you so much, Freddie. That's Freddie Roach joining us here on 8countnews.com. I'm Peter Zimborn. Thank you.